Hello, everybody. This is Vanessa from Vans, Van, and Travels. We're all coming to you this week from our beds. We're all being lazy. We've had some very, very windy weather and cold and very, very cold with this wind being as high as it is. You can probably hear it, and I can see my phone is shaking back and forth. And this wind's been shaking me to sleep every night. But I don't care. I'm used to it. It doesn't bother me at all. It did when it first started doing that, but you just learn to go to sleep. Um, I had some questions from Roaming Ruka. She had some very, very interesting and important questions, I think. And the one I want to talk about is what advice could you give someone about where to start out, where to camp, and are there certain rules or protocol? Do you just find some place to park? I condensed that a little bit. Um, that's a very important question. When I first started out, that was probably like the main thing that I was concerned about. I'd learned everything I could learn by watching YouTube, and I had the freecampsites.net address and all of that, but I was on the eastern side of the United States, and it's a little different over there. And my first place I was going to was Upper Michigan and up into Canada. So my first night, the spot I had picked out to spend the night in New Buffalo, Michigan, where I used to live, um, I was going to go there to a Love's. And just as I got under the Michigan line, just the biggest storm ever hit, and pouring down rain, and the wind was blowing hard. So I ended up stopping for about an hour at Love's truck stop, and then I kept going, and I made it on up about another 100 miles, I think, and I found a Hampton Inn. I didn't even plan that, but they weren't that busy, so I thought this would be a good spot. And there were like three motels just right there together, so I figured if I stopped in one motel, they wouldn't know if I was camped. Listen to me, I'm so used to camping. They wouldn't know if I was staying there or at another hotel. But if they had been busy, I wouldn't have stayed there because I wouldn't take up a spot for somebody that they could make money off of. I wouldn't do that. But that's called stealth camping there. I had my reflectix covered. You couldn't see inside anyway because the wind, I mean, the rain was, uh, the rain was blowing, that's for sure. It was very windy and rainy then too. But like if I'm getting from point A to point B, if I have a destination and I get tired, there's always going to be a Walmart around or a Cracker Barrel more than likely. So I don't have a certain time that I stop. I don't like to drive at night because for one thing, I want to see everything I can see in the daylight. And so I usually stop at a Walmart unless if it's like in a bigger town or a resort area, something like that. The Walmart may be in a strip mall, and they're probably not going to allow uh, you staying there overnight. But a lot of them do. Out here, there's some that do. So that's if it is allowed, there won't be a sign out there, and if it's not, there will be a sign out there. So don't go against the rules unless you're a lot braver than I am. Um, the best place to look for free camping is to me is freecampsite.net, and and it is. I don't want to say scary because it didn't scare me. I knew I was going to make it somehow. But I tell you what is a little scary, if anything could be scary to me, is when it's black, dark, and there's nobody else around, no lights in the parking lot, or you're just somewhere by yourself and it's just jet black and you can't see where you're going, then that's not a good place to stop unless you just can't go any further. You need to get some sleep. And then just make sure your doors are locked because according to how, if you're a light sleeper or heavy sleeper, if someone wakes you up more than likely you're going to have time to jump in the seat if you can. That you couldn't do that on a travel trailer. That's another reason I like my van, because if anything happens, I can jump in the front seat and just take off. And so that's just you do need to be somewhat prepared. But like if you're just trying to get out west, there's not a big problem. Just stop at a Walmart or Cracker Barrel, because when you get out here, there's going to be more free camping than you could ever imagine. I mean, you can just pretty much stay wherever you want to out here. I've never seen so much camping in my life. It's amazing out here. Everywhere you look, it's just solid RVs, vans, tents, cars, and some things I couldn't even describe to you what they are. But that's all right. If that's what they want to do, then that's okay with me. But I wanted to discuss this, and I think I've pretty much. Oh, the protocol. Okay, for the winter time out here, you are supposed to check in with the camp host. And okay, just for instance, if you want to camp on Plumosa Road, if you went to freecampsites.net and you picked out Plumosa Road, okay, as soon as you turn on Plumosa Road, there's a sign out there in the very first parking lot that there's a camp host here. If you're on any address that you're looking for, look right there. As soon as the GPS takes you there, start looking for a sign. If you don't see one, you probably don't have a camp host, and you're okay. And you're okay on BLM land anyway. It's free. But always look for a camp host, because I guess there's always a possibility they can come and track you down. But no one no one has ever been out here to bother anybody, except one night there was some rowdy people, and they weren't rowdy, they were stupid. They were out here honking their horns like a bunch of teenagers. Everybody was honking back and forth to one another. It didn't wake me up. I was sound asleep, but I heard the cops had them in the back seat the next morning. So they're not going to put up with anything stupid like that. I mean, just as long as you're not throwing trash around or going to sleep and letting the campfire burn, you're going to be okay. Just respect the land like you would if it was yours. And that's all I'm going to say for now. And I hope I've helped you. There are some free camping places on the eastern part of the United States, but they're very few and far between that I've seen. So unless you're coming out here, I can't really help you that much, except by looking on Facebook and get in as many traveling groups as you can. The ones that have the high numbers. I have one, but I only have like 250 members. But I do have some good people. I have people that could help you out, because most of the people that are there are travelers and van dwellers and RV dwellers. So mine would be a good place to start. And my name is Vanessa Hart, Hart, with Eaton in parentheses to the side, Eaton. If you want to send me a friend request, I'll accept it. And you can join my group. Or you can look up the group without being friends, actually. But if you want to, you can. And that's all I have to say for now. And I hope I've covered a little bit of what you need to know about finding a place to camp. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking and leaving comments. It means a whole lot to me, and you make my day when you do that. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.